Hey, what's going on? What's going on? It's your girl Tacarra Williams here with Buzz, and you are watching On the Record. I got tired of being single. I got a 19-year-old kid, got a whole girlfriend. You know how messed up it is to watch your 19-year-old in a relationship, don't pay no bills in the house, and you in there just lonely, just trying to figure it out. He got a full-on girlfriend, and you just sitting at the table just watching them hug and stuff like, oh, one day it'll be my turn, one day. So the first time I was on stage, crazy story, I was going through a really bad breakup, and I was like, I want to do something crazy, so I went into acting. And I went to this audition. I have no acting experience. I know nothing, right? And I get there and I give my best, which was trash. I didn't get the part, but they said that that was a serious role and you should be doing stand-up. And I said, what am I supposed to say on stage? And they said, we don't know. We just feel like you're naturally funny. You should try it. That same night, I got offered to do a spot in Harlem, New York. And I was supposed to do 3 minutes, and they kept me up there for 10 minutes. Because the host went to smoke weed. Forgot I was on stage. But it didn't bother me. I just talked about the difference between men breaking up versus women breaking up, and how we all take different times in the process, and how women find themselves, you know, as soon as we get out of a relationship, we're like doing so much better. And the audience loved it. And when I got off stage, the host said, well, you know, how long have you been doing stand-up on the mic? And I said, today's my first day. And everybody started clapping. And he said, you're going to go a long way. And here we are today at Buzz on the Record. It's cool because I'm really shapy. Like I'm very curvy. So I wear these things called butt curtains. It's just like long ass sweaters that I wear every single day to work. Over everything I have on, I have this long ass sweater that comes down to right here. Every color, I found them on eBay and I just fucking bought every color. It's like, bitch, give me two of everything. In the summertime, I try to tie them around my waist, so when I get into work, I just and put it on. It's like a cloak. But when you got a student who just came from court facing 25 to life, he don't give a shit. He come into the classroom one day, it's my best student, he's sad. I said, what's wrong with you? Nah, Miss C, they just gave me 25. They gave me 35 years, but I gotta do 25. I was like, oh my God. He goes, yeah. I said, you know what, I'll say a prayer for you. He goes, nah, can you go ahead and move that little sweater thing up? All of my comedy pulls from personal spaces. And I use that as my draw because it's natural for me to talk about it. And being on that stage for the first time talking about something that was hurtful, that I still hadn't completely processed, that I was still trying to get over, and having people come up to me after the show and say, me too, was so inspiring. And you know, if anybody out there watches my stand-up, you'll see everything I talk about is personal. Nothing is your run-of-the-mill, random, oh, this happened today on the news. It's all personal to my life because, you know, I learned early on in the game that comedy is healing. And it's not just healing for the audience members that are listening, it's also healing for me. So, yeah, everything's personal. Sometimes I think I go too personal.
First and foremost, good morning, happy Monday. I really got tried this morning by my daughter. I'm on my way to work and I dropped her off at the store. And she said, you know, can you drop me off to my school? And I said, no, your school is like 1 block away. Just walk to school from here. I'm running behind for work. She goes, I don't want to walk. I said, why? She said, because I don't want to walk in my sneakers. What are you talking about? What are you even talking? That doesn't even make any sense. Why would you wear sneakers if you don't want to walk in them? You gonna walk in school all day long? You think I'm gonna drive you from class to class? Is there a little go-kart taking you from class to class? That's why I bought you them goddamn sneakers, so you can walk in them. $300 for a pair of red Jordans, red patent leather Jordans, and you gonna tell me you're not gonna walk in them? You gonna walk the fuck in those goddamn sneakers. What kind of kids? What? Remember back in the day when you put on your new sneakers just to walk? Just so people could see you in your new sneakers? And you gonna tell me that you can't walk in your sneakers? Girl!
I don't think anyone, okay, let me see. I think people believe that I could do something great. I don't think they believed in my stand-up at the beginning because, you know, again, I'm fresh out of a breakup and I'm like, I gotta figure out my life. And who doesn't jump into something random and want to do something random, you know, in their late 20s? You know, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go do stand-up. And it was like, stand-up? You're a teacher, what are you doing? And I think everybody thought it was a phase. Even I think I thought it was a phase. And then I fell in love with it. And then one day I realized it loved me back. And then me and comedy have created this relationship probably one of the best relationships I ever had. And now I think my family is proud of me. But, you know, sometimes it takes people to see other people being proud of you for them to be proud of you.
I'm going to go ahead and do this public service announcement for all the women out there who are yesing and into the memes that are going up talking about something. You shouldn't be sleeping with a man. You shouldn't be fucking a man unless he can help you pay your bills. No, bitch. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you even talking about? What are you talking about? You're a grown-ass woman. You should be able to pay your bills long before that man came along. Don't put the responsibility on a man telling him, in order for us to be fucking, or since I'm fucking you, you gotta pay my bills. So if I'm a dude and I meet you and we go out on 3 dates and we fuck once or twice, that means I'm now responsible for your bills? Get the fuck out of here. That's the problem is you got the F's messed up. There's fucking and then there's focus. Your priorities are messed up. Put your priorities in place and stop fucking and start focusing on being able to take care of yourself. You are not that man's responsibility because you chose to lay down with him. Your bills should be paid either way. Stop trying to make men bad for not doing something that you should be able to do on your own, ladies.
Sometimes I feel like I know what I'm talking about, but then I'll sit and think on it and I'll be like, I don't think I know what I'm talking about. And I don't say anything. But when it comes to the politics of things, I try to stay in my own lane as much as possible. Especially when we talk about Club Shay Shay and, you know, the Katt Williams thing and all that's happening. And, you know, when that interview came out, that came out on YouTube, and people who knew that I was touring with Katt Williams, I got so many phone calls. I got so many text messages, even a few emails of people asking questions in regards to what touring with him is like, and from people who had already toured with him and wanted to give me what they thought was a heads up on what the experience might be like. And I am a very open-minded person, and I believe that my experience is what matters with somebody. So, and it, you know, if somebody comes to me and say, you're a bad person, and I'm going to say, for all the good people out there in the world, somebody's not going to like you. Somebody's going to have a bad experience with you in life. That's just being a human person. I mean, there's people who look at me and love me and say, oh, you're the sweetest person in the world and you're the greatest mom. There's a time that my daughter will talk to you and say, my mom wanted to punch me in the face, you know? Or you just seem like a great wife, wifey material. There's an ex-husband out there that tell you I'm crazy. So I think that when people come to me with these experiences in reference to Katt or just with politics, I believe in experiencing somebody for myself. Because their reason for being that way with you may not be the reason I give them to be a certain way with me. So when it comes to the politics and comedy and stuff, I try my best to stay in my lane. I try my best to mind my business. I try my best not to intervene in anything unless somebody asks me. But the biggest part of politics I'm dealing with right now is just being on tour with Katt and the great things that come along with it, because there's a lot of great that comes along with it. But there's also a lot of people who feel a way about, I'm team, Tavis Smiley, like, how dare you be with Katt and Tavis is my friend, or, this person is, but, I love Faison and I don't know him. I don't know these people personally to have a feeling towards them. I know the person whom I'm on tour with. My experience with him has been nothing but great. And to be honest, I was really skeptical about even doing the tour when it got offered because I had never toured with a male before. I had done dates with men before, like, hey, I got this show here in Pennsylvania. I got 2 dates. You want to come do these 2 dates? But I had never been consecutively touring with someone, because there's a stigma when it comes to men and women touring together, especially if the male is the headliner. And a lot of women have come to me and said, well, I haven't had the great experience touring with this person, or I haven't had the greatest experience touring with that person. And I've gotten offered tours with male comics, and I've turned them down because the initial offer did sound a little sketchy to me. So when I got asked to tour, I was like, I don't know. I told my agent, I don't know. What do you think? And she said, well, we got Zoom Man Miller on the tour. We got Little Mo, the singing artist, on the tour. We got Miss Pretty Ricky. We got Red Grant. We got Tommy Davidson. We got Mark Curry. We got Monique. We got Monique. We got Auntie Monique. We got My Sweet Babies. We got her on the tour. And then Katt Williams rounds out the tour. So it's like a giant family on tour together, Probably one of the best decisions I've ever made. And I love it, but still being in the middle of that, because there's still so much politics, because now we got politics with Katt, then we got politics with Monique now. And I only go based off my experience with them. And they treat me, Monique treat me like I'm her niece. She want to make sure I'm in the airport. Who's walking with you to your gate? Are you okay? Do you need anything? Her sweet babies. And Katt treats me like I'm a niece. And I try to stray away from the politics and only move on my experience with people in comedy. So you ever drove into your driveway and ate your food in the car? If you never pulled into your driveway and ate your food in the car, you ain't no real parent. Like, I'm a parent. I will pull into my garage, close the garage door, car still running, carbon monoxide all in the air. I would rather die than share my Chick-fil-A nuggets and lemonade with anybody in this house, because they don't got no jobs. If someone saw me do a joke, that's like I know comedians who go on stage and talk about kids, and they don't have any kids. And they go on stage and say, yeah, I was hanging out with my daughter. Yeah, me and my son. And I'm sitting there like, you don't have no kids. But if I go on stage as a black woman, and I talk about my experiences in dating, being a black woman, and another black woman goes on stage and she talks about her experiences in dating, being a black woman, am I surprised that they're similar? No. Am I going to get upset and say, you stole my joke? I can't say you stole something that we both experienced. But if I'm talking about a guy that I went on a date with, and I'm a storyteller comic. So it's really hard to take a bit from me because I'm just very into detail, because I need you to visualize what I'm talking about. So I'm very detailed. If I'm saying, so I went on a date with this guy and he was about 5'6", brown skin, his nails were terrible. He didn't have his nails done. He had no haircut. Eyes was brown. One of his eyebrows had a cut in it. It was wild. He had one pimple here. I'm going to paint the picture.
Why don't you just say Mark?
So... So I'm painting the picture of this person, and I'm doing it so vividly that if somebody was to take that joke and say those exact same sentiments, then that's stealing. But the just having like the same body of joke, that doesn't bother me. And if people take my jokes, I'm gonna lie. People don't take my jokes because it's hard to steal my jokes. But people have done jokes that are similar to mine after they've seen me on stage. And people are like, does it bother you that somebody took your joke? No, I'll just write another one. That's how I look at it. You have to be optimistic in this business. And you can't always take things personal. Even if it is personal, it doesn't belong to me. That belongs to the person who stole it. You got to deal with that when that's the only good joke you have and you can only get booked for 5 minutes. So I'll just write another joke. I have so much life I'm living every day. I can write another joke. So right now, let's say I toured with Katt Williams and we did 100 cities. Before I toured with him, I was on tour on my own. It was called the Life After Divorce Tour. And when I got offered this opportunity, we rescheduled my date so that I could do Katt's dates. And I did that. And a lot of people was like, why would you stop your own tour to do Katt's tour? You gotta humble yourself sometimes for greatness and for your greatness. And you got to understand who's in front of you, why they're in front of you, why God put this opportunity in front of you, and you got to move forward in that direction. And sometimes that means shutting up, humbling yourself, and playing the background. So I went from doing an hour on stage to doing 15 minutes on stage, but I'm doing 15 minutes in front of 8,000 to 12,000 people. Now I can come back to, and I'm not just doing 15 minutes in front of 8,000 to 12,000 people. I'm killing 15 minutes in front of 8,000 to 12,000 people, which means that when I come back to this city, because while I'm on stage, I get off stage and I look at my phone, I've got 2,000, 3,000 new followers. So, which means that when I come back to this city to do my hour, I don't have a problem selling out those dates because they want more of me. But in order for me to get that experience, I got to humble myself. This is a public service announcement to all the parents out there who are homeschooling their kids and don't know this fucking work. Don't get mad at yourself, okay? Don't get mad. My daughter's in high school. She got math. She came to me with the math, talking about something. You don't know this math? I'm like, you don't know this fucking math? You've been in school all day. How you don't know this shit? I ain't never been in the classroom with you. Why you don't know it? She's like, Mommy, it don't make no sense. This math don't make no sense. I said, it makes sense if you listen. Then she gonna read it to me.
She read it to me. Shit, they make no sense. She read it to me, y'all. The shit, they make no sense. It says 17 cows went into the barn. 16 sheep walked out. The 16 sheep walked across the street, went into the restaurant and had eggs and bacon for dinner. They paid $13.72 for their breakfast. How many frogs was in the pond? What? It don't make no motherfucking sense. I can't do this shit. I can't live like this. I'm not doing this. I can't. We failed. I'm such a conversational comic. Like, it's just a conversation. That's like we just did a radio show, and I was talking about how my daughter, she's 19, and when she was 18, she went to a strip club for the first time with her friends, and she was just like, strip clubs cost money. And I'm like, yeah, you nut. Why would you go there? So, mommy, let me tell you, I was so embarrassed. So I went, right? And first of all, they let us in for free because they knew we was broke. And then they was like, oh, you got to tip the stripper in cash. And I'm like, I don't even got no cash. They was like, it's an ATM right there. So I'm like, bet I go to the ATM. So, I take out my little $20. I said, you took out $20 from the ATM? She's like, yeah. And then I went and got singles. I said, you got $20 in singles at a strip club? Yes. Let me finish my story. Anyway, so I'm standing there and everybody's like tipping the stripper. They throwing money at her. And I was like, y'all are aggressive. Like, I can't throw no money at this lady. This is a human. I said, so how did you give her her money? She said, I put my money on the stage and then I slid it to her and I looked at her and I said, that's for you. I said, you did that with $1? Yeah, I did that with $1. I said, Casey, how many times did you give this lady $1? She gonna say, let's just say I got $15 left. I said, girl, you don't get out of my face. And that's a true story. Literally happened, and I just talk it through on stage.
She needs royalties for that.
Yeah. She's my entire set. My 19-year-old she's crazy. She is my best friend. She is my, you know how when you raising your kids and you say, I'm not your little friend. She my little friend now. Yeah. Life is lifing for her. She's in college. She didn't realize that groceries cost so much money, and she calls me crying. She's like, groceries? I went into Target for a toothbrush and I spent $200. I said, I told you to write a list. You did, and I didn't. But since you're my mother, you love me so much, do you think I could borrow? I said, you don't have a job to pay me back. That's true. But if you see it in your heart to be so kind, if you want to send me like $40, I'd appreciate it. And I'll make sure I won't make the mistake of going to Target and spending $240 and I went in there for a toothbrush. So she's like, she's just dope. But I just talk about experiences that happen. Like my new joke is about to be, I'm going to tell y'all, my dad, I had a video I put out, and in the music for the video it said, Beyonce's, you can be my daddy if you want to. And somebody commented on my Facebook and said, I'll be your daddy. And my dad comes into the comments and says, she's already got one of those. I'm her father. And I didn't realize how many people had commented, I'll be your daddy. And I didn't realize how many times my father commented, she already has a dad. So my sister calls me and she said, Daddy is in your comments. And I said, saying what? She said, just go look. And I looked, and my dad is feuding with strangers. He don't even know the song. He don't even get the song. Because she already has a father. She don't need it. Sir, you being disrespectful. I'm her father. She already has a dad. Now they think he's some fresh old man being inappropriate with me. And now I got to come online and say, that's actually my dad, guys. Oh, we sorry. We so sorry. We didn't know that was your father. Oh, my God, my bad. So I told him, I said, you're going to need to change your screen name to Tacarra's biological dad. So when you make those comments, people know you are my biological. And get off of Facebook. Get off of the Facebook. Please, Dad, if you watch it, get off. Don't they have like an old people meet or go over there? You can't be arguing with people on my face. And it's not on Instagram because they don't know how to work Instagram, thank God. But on Facebook, that man will go to war.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Tacarra Williams here. This is a quick public service announcement. This is for all my parents with adult children. I just want to let you know, stop feeling bad for bad decisions, terrible decisions that your adult children are making. Your adult children know right from wrong. Most importantly, the majority of parents tell their kids, don't steal, don't kill, don't hurt nobody, don't rob nobody. They know better. Those are conscious decisions that they're making. And most importantly, if you're an adult child and you feel like there was some type of abuse that happened when you were a child, or maybe your mama wasn't around because she was working, trying to protect and provide for you, then if you recognize what the problem is, it's your job to fix it. And granted, some people feel like it's not fair that I had to deal with that. It's your problem now. You got to fix it, because who else is going to fix it? Self-care is extremely important. You can't live your life blaming your parents. And parents, stop feeling bad for trying your best and your adult child chooses to do what they want to do. It's not your fault. They are grown. They know better.
No one in my family is upset that they're in my set. The only people who are really in my set are my kids. My oldest son, Chase. Shout out to Chase. My middle daughter, Casey. Hey, friend. And my youngest daughter, Chrissy. Hi, Toots. Nobody's upset that they're in my set. And I think that's because I respect and value how they feel. So I really don't do anything on stage in reference to them unless I ask them if it's okay. I'll run the joke by them. My oldest daughter, she talks like, she's so extra when she talks. Like, I could say I'm going to do this buzz interview. And she'll be like, oh, you going to do like a little buzz? Like a little interview? Like, look at you, period. Look at my mom. So when I was on stage one day, I said that. I was like, my daughter's so extra. She talks like, period, like, shut up. And when I get off stage, I'm staring at her. She's staring at me. She came to one of the shows. And I say, you okay? And she goes, so like, do I really talk like that? Ooh, look, I really talk like that. Yeah, you was up there eating. So, but I go through them first.
Got it.
My son made me a grandma, and I had to tell him, I said, you made me a grandma. I'm going to talk about this. And he said, what you going to say? I said, I don't know, but I don't know why you did this.
And kids always try to make grandparents feel bad. They always say shit like, so you can't watch your grandson? I'm like, nigga, you can't watch your son? It's just like you can. You won. If this is a game, nigga, you won this game. That's your kid. Get that nigga out of here. I'm out. I'm on my side. Y'all can't even stay in my house when I'm going. Get that nigga out of here. You ain't here. Get out.
And I'm just like, my son, I'm not that kind of grandma. I'm not watching that baby. Talking about something, I'm going to go out tonight. Can you watch him? I'm going out tonight. You thought I was staying in the house? You don't see my outfit? I'm leaving. I'm not watching. Can he spend the night? No, I'm spending the night somewhere else. I'm not watching that kid. Are you crazy? Try to make me feel bad because you're not going to watch your only grandson? I'm like, you're not going to watch your son? That's your kid. You won that. I'm not. I'll watch him, but you better send your location. I'll tell you that right now. So, and I talk about that on stage, and my son, I had to run him by it. Hey, listen, I'm going to talk about you making me a grandma on stage. I don't even know him. Like, why he staring at me like that? He look like he's still. I'm not watching that kid. But everything's run by them. So if there's something that they are completely uncomfortable with, I won't talk about it on stage. And I've got some jokes in my pocket that will kill the room. But I have more respect and love for my kids' privacy because they didn't ask to be, they didn't ask for me to be a stand-up comedian, and they didn't ask for this type of attention. So, even now I'll post my daughter, and I remember once I tagged her, and she said, can you stop tagging me on your page? And I said, why? And she said, because when you tag me, I get a bunch of follows and weird people in my DMs. And I said, ooh, okay, I got you. Okay. I'll be mindful. But for the most part, they don't. No, nobody, they don't. We all right over here. All right, guys, it's your girl, Tacarra Williams here. Make sure that you follow me on all social media platforms at Tacarra Comedy. And listen, if you don't feel like going on all social media platforms and looking for me, just go to my website at tacarra.com. All my social media platforms are on there. You just hit the link, follow, subscribe. And listen, it's only one. Okay? Somebody out there got a fake page out there soliciting people for money. At least give me half. Jesus Christ. It's only one. Go to my website, tacarra.com. Follow me on all social media platforms. And make sure that you stay tuned. I'm super excited. We got Netflix Is a Joke with Katt Williams, the Woke Folk live taping. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm going to be there performing. And don't forget my tour. Okay? My tour kicks off in Atlanta, Georgia. May 16th and 17th or 17th and 18th. I don't know. I don't work there. That's why I told you to go to my website, at tacarra.com. That's where you can find the right dates. Hello, it's Friday. And make sure that you tune in for all dates and all things Tacarra and Totally Funny Kids, Friday nights. Watch it. It's fun. And I love y'all. Thank y'all for having me. Hey, my name is Tacarra Williams, and you've just been buzzed. Oh, who makes me laugh? Oh, this is going to be fun. Mark Curry makes me laugh. Mark Curry this is my first time meeting him, first time touring, hands down one of the funniest. Tommy Davidson makes me laugh because his jokes are just so wild. Like, who thought of that? And we do think of that. So we've got Mark Curry, we've got Tommy Davidson. And these are just people I'm on a tour with. And it's not just because I'm on a tour with them. It's because being on tour with them, I've grown to become fans of their work. Red Grant makes me laugh. He's so silly. Everybody's so different. I do love Zooman Miller. He has this impression that he does of, I don't want to tell you. You got to come watch the show to catch it. Who else do I love? Comedians that make me laugh. I love Carlos Miller. He makes me laugh. Tony Baker, hands down. Tony Baker, hands down, one of the funniest comedians I've ever met in my life. Tony Baker, hands down. Shantae Wayne makes me laugh. Absolutely love her. I think, and my daughter Casey, she's not even a comic. But the fact that she keep calling me, asking me for money and thinking I'm gonna send it to her is hysterical to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't got it. Okay.
I love Shantae.